Oh, it's a really grim old black evening, and I'm just looking up at the trees and see them blowing in the wind there. You can see them wobbling around. So I wonder if there'll be any storm damage. That's a good example of that one, that tree over there blowing away. So we'll have a look in the morning if there's any storm damage. But I think there will be, because it's such a horrible evening. Well, what with all that wind we had last night, you can actually see some damage that's occurred. And if I just pan down there, you can actually see a apple tree that's blown down overnight. There's one behind it that blew down a couple of winters ago. That one there. Just haven't got around to cutting up. And now this one's come down as well. Anyway, I'll just have a walk down and we'll have a look at it. Oh, well. Didn't expect to see this down. Oh, there's a pheasant. I'll just zoom in over there. Pheasant just hiding amongst it. Let's run off. Well, you can see how wet it is. That hole in the ground is full of water. There's another pheasant just come off that tree. They're hiding in this old apple tree. That hole in the ground is full of water already. So the ground's saturated. There's not a lot of purchase for the roots, but the roots are looking quite old and rotten. These aren't fresh, alive roots. They're actually old and dying, I think. So it's hardly a surprise that it's gone. And if I actually look at the branches, I hadn't noticed this before when it was stood up, but a lot of the branches are actually dead. They've got no bark on them. So this tree was on its way out anyway. And just when it stood up, you don't notice these things. Look, you can see the bark off there. So it was an old tree that was on this way out. I think my dad planted it probably 50 years ago. Usually live longer than that, but this one hadn't done very well. And a pan across here, there's one that blew down a few years ago. So I've got a lot of chainsawing to do now. Look, you can see the pheasant, the cock pheasant just over there, strutting away. So that's two trees we lost in the last couple of years, both quite old, which is why it's important to plant the new ones, the replacements. And you can see one here next to it which we planted a couple of years ago. That's doing quite well. And next to it, lucky it didn't actually come down on the tree that's just been planted in front of it. So anyway, there's the result of the winds. There's always some sort of damage after the wind, and that's what's happened this year. One dead tree.